Right. Everyone, please say 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So good evening to everyone once again. Before we start, let me do the same wish. May this session also help you to develop in your Dhamma practice at least little bit further. And may you be able to develop in the Dhamma path, proceed in Dhamma path at least one step ahead. Right? May you gain at least some inner peace and inner happiness with it. Right? With that wish, we are going to start today's meditation session. Now, the old students, they are continuing to practice the second step of, starting from today, they're going to practice the second step of Vipassana meditation too. So earlier, you were you were requested to observe the sensations, so all around your head, right? Starting from the top of your head to up to the left ear, so you observing sensations part by part. Now, starting from today, you are kindly requested to observe the face area too, right? Start with the top of your head and then finish those parts, and then, or if you can directly start from this area and then move to the head part, right? So first, what you need to do is, so please pay your entire attention to the forehead area. On the forehead area, whatever the sensations that arise, let it be heat, let it be coldness, so let it be pain, let it be itching sensation, or heaviness, hardness, softness, or any sense, or sweating, right? Or if you cannot feel any of those sensations, but if you can feel the touch of the air, so that so focus on that and observe it objectively and understand this sensation is also impermanent change. And then after that, please move your attention to the right eyelid, and on the top of your right eyelid, whatever the sensations that you can experience. So eyebrows, eyebrows, right? Right eyebrow, and then after that, left eyebrow. So on both those eyebrows too, whatever the sensations that arise, observe them objectively, and then after that, recognize any sensation that you can experience, and then remind yourself this sensation is also impermanent change, right? Then after that, please move your attention to the right eyelid, right? Then towards the left eyelid. So then on those both eyelids too, so whatever the sensations that you experience, observe them objectively and with an equanimous mind, and recognize any sensation that really exists at that on those eyelids right now. And so remind yourself this sensation is also changing, impermanent. And then observe the sensations on your eyeballs, right? On your right eyeball and left eyeball. Whatever the sensations that you experience, observe, right? And then, then after that, understand those sensations are also impermanent change, right? Then please move your attention towards your nose, whatever the sensations that you experience on your nose, right? So observe them and do the same thing. Think in the same way about those sensations too. And then please move your attention towards your right cheek, right cheek. Then move your attention towards your left cheek. And then move your attention towards your upper lip. Right? Then please move your attention towards your lower lip. Right? And finally, uh, please finish your observations at the end of, finally on your chin. Right? On your chin. Right? Forehead. Right? Right eyelid. So right eyebrow, left eyebrow, right eyelid, left eyelid, right eyeball, left eyeball, then nose, then right cheek, left cheek, then upper lip, lower lip. So whenever you observe one place, sometimes you might experience certain sensations on the other places too. But don't think about those ones. Don't pay attention to those ones when you're observing some one particular area, right? So whenever it is the time for it to observe the sensations on that part, at that time observe the sensations on that part, right? And don't let your mind wander here and there, and so go like so do zigzag, right? Instead, so observe when you are observing sensations at one particular area, give your entire attention to that area, even though you don't feel sensations. So even though you feel sensations in the other areas, but you don't feel sensations at the place that you're paying attention, don't worry, right? For now, the most important part for you to observe sensations is the part which is due for you to observe sensations, right? So just pay attention to that particular area, okay? And then please practice like that. Whenever you are done with the chin, and start observing the sensations on the top of your head, right? The new students, so they are kind of requested to practice the breathing meditation again. So if you have practiced breathing meditation for maybe 2 months, then you can pay attention to the touch of the breath, on the so big triangular area. That means within this triangular area, when the breath comes and touches, please pay attention to that part, right? Okay. So if you have been practicing, 2 months or more, right? If not, keep on practicing the first step of breathing meditation. So what you have to do is, please pay your entire attention to the incoming breath and the outgoing breath. When the breath is coming in, please be fully aware. When the breath is going out, please be fully aware. If the breath is long, if the breath is short, if the breath is gross, if the breath is soft, let it be so. Just keep on being aware about the breath that you are experiencing right now. Right now. Right? Then everyone, please practice like that. So newcomers, they are kindly requested to practice the first step or the second step of breathing meditation. And then the old students, they are kindly requested to practice the second step of Vipassana meditation. So please observe the sensations on your forehead. Start with your forehead. And then after that, both eyebrows and both eyelids, both eyeballs, and then the nose, right cheek, left cheek, upper lip, lower lip, and finally chin. On all those areas, whatever the sensations that you experience, keep on observing them. And don't imagine any sensation. So let that sensation be a real sensation, right? Real sensation. A sensation that exists right now. and understand this sensation, whatever sensation that you experience, it is impermanent change. Right. Before we start every day, I teach you something that you need to develop in your life as good practitioners. Right. Today too, I'm going to teach you about one thing, one quality that you need to develop. Right. So today's teaching is to don't interfere in other people's affairs unnecessarily. Right? Don't interfere in other people's affairs unnecessarily. Right? There is one famous Sanskrit poem. It goes like this: Kudrushtam kuparignatam, kushrutam kuparikshitam, tan yannarenere kartavyam, napi tenatra yatkrutam. Kudrushtam, right? If you haven't seen something fully, right? Kuparijñātam, if you are not acknowledged well about something fully, right? Kushrutam, if you haven't heard, right, about something well fully, right, in a perfect way, right? And then kuparishitam, if you haven't researched about something fully, right? So the person should not take action at once, right? Take action at once on that particular thing, right? So certain people, they don't know the full story. Sometimes, so there are people uh, so who don't know the full story. They just, so you can easily see this on Facebook and other social medias, right? So most of the media channels, and now there are so many YouTubers and Facebook influencers and like that. So who sometimes touch, I mean, offer their perspective on an incident, right? But they don't know what actually has happened. After going through it all the way, right? So finally they realize, oh, we were very wrong. The information what we got is wrong. So yeah, that's not the actual story is, right? So the so then what will happen is so what but they cannot reverse such kind of people. They cannot reverse the damage that they have done, right? So even though they realize what the information that they gave or whatever thing that they did was wrong, the damage is done, right? So there is one famous story about this in Panchatantra. I think I told you this one earlier too. Hope the old students remember the story about the mischievous monkey. Can you remember? Right. Okay. Let me teach you. Remind you. For the old students, let me teach the new students. So long time ago, so there were some carpenters who were building. Who were sewing one log, right? So they were sewing a huge log, right? So those days, so uh, when they were sewing, when they were cutting the log into pieces, um, so so they did it. So they didn't have all these chainsaws and all those electrical things, right? So they used the hand saw, right, to do that. So that saw is so big when it depends on the log that you have to cut, right? There is a small saw and then there is a big saw, right, which needs two people, right? One person, then they make a platform, and then they keep the log on the top, and then using that big saw, two people, they keep dragging the saw so up and down to cut the log, right? Big logs. So uh, two people, two men, so they were cutting a log like that, and since it was the lunchtime, they thought to stop their work and go for the lunch. So they used one wedge. Do you know wooden wedge? Wedge means the um, it's a woody. So triangular instrument that they use to keep the so keep both the house, right, separated without letting them to step again, right? So they put a wedge in between the two house of the log and then went for the lunch. At that very area, there was one mischievous monkey. This monkey saw this log and so came closer, and it was curious about this wedge, right? So what it did was it sat on the top of that log and kept its tail in between the two house, right? It let its tail to hang in between the two house, and giving its entire strength, it pulled the wedge. You can understand what might have happened. Finally, the tail of the monkey shattered into pieces, right? So it is just like this, right? Whenever you don't know about something fully, if you go to act on that one, you are the one who will get damaged, and the damage that you have done, you cannot reverse it again, right? Therefore, uh, so so we have to stop interfering in the other people's affairs unnecessarily if we don't know the situation well, right? Sometimes you will become the culprit at the end, right? So that's the truth. So why we should not? Uh, we should not interfere in the other people's affairs unnecessarily. First one reason is we really know the full situation, right? That's number one. And then good intentions can produce bad results. If you don't know the whole story, even though with the good situation, if you interfere, then sometimes it can create bad results, right? So uh, uh, so for an right, I think you can understand that. So it can create unnecessary attachment and conflict, right? It can also create unnecessary attachment and conflicts. And then fourth one is everyone has responsibility for their actions. Well, so all the people, they have responsibility on their own actions. You have to understand that. So therefore, we have to understand that we have to we have to interfere in their actions only if it is necessary. Only if it is necessary. Right? Fifth one is wisdom comes before action. Right? Wisdom always comes before action. If you don't let the other people to, sometimes people do mistakes and then learn in life, right? So so we have to I mean we have to give the other people the basic understandings, but if they still go to do that, right? So sometimes certain people learn by their own experiences, So therefore, wisdom comes before action. So that's another reason that we should not interfere in the other people's stuff unnecessarily. Then they have to have that wisdom. And before your involvement, you have to ask these kinds of questions. Right? So, do I understand the situation well enough? That's number one. Second one is, has my help requested or truly needed? Sometimes your help is needed, sometimes your help is not needed. Right? So, then when will my involvement likely reduce, so suffering or increasing? Sometimes when you engage in that thing, so you will also suffer along with that person. So then so sometimes even though you involve, there is nothing that you can do. Can you understand? So if it is a situation, so you have to stay away. And fourth one is, am I acting knowing my limits? You have to check whether you act knowing your limits. That's number 4. And number 5 is, am I acting from wisdom and compassion, or from curiosity, pride, or emotion? Right? Certain people act so emotionally. Certain people so involved because they are too proud, thinking they know everything, right? So to show off that they know everything, but they don't they don't know about the situation, and out of curiosity too, right? So instead, so you have to check whether if it is the case, you have to stay away. Then if it is about wisdom and compassion, then please involve. Right? If you then these are the 5 things that you need to think before you involve in the other people's affairs. Involve in the other people's affairs. And if the answer is no, you are engaging in this one, interfering in this one unnecessarily, then what you need to do is please stay away. That's the best. That's the best for you, and that's the best for the others. So that at least, so your peace will be intact, right? So yes, we need to help the other people to become happy and peaceful and successful, but there are certain situations where so we cannot interfere, right? So we need to understand our own limits. Good. Now we are keep that in mind and put that in practice, and always ask these 5 questions before you interfere in the other people's affairs. Okay. Now, everyone, please keep your back straight, neck straight, head straight. Please keep your right palm on your left palm. And then please let your whole body to relax. Let your whole body to relax. Close your eyes, not very tightly, not very smoothly, just up to the level that you can prevent the outside scenes, right? Outside distractions. Now, first, let me pay our sincere respect and gratitude to the Buddha. And after that, we are going to begin our silent meditation session. Calm down and concentrate. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Itimiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vinyacharane sampanno sungato lokamino anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati sataneva manusanam buddho mangevati Tuakato bhagavata dhammo Sannittiko akaliko ehi pasiko panaiko macatang veditamo vinyuhiti supanipanno bhagavato savaka sangho unyumanipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Nyaya patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Sami Chimani Pangno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yadidang Chattari Purisa Yugani Atte Purisa Puggelam Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anutterang punyakhetang lokasati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With a very calm mind, with a very quiet mind, with an alert, very attentive mind, with a balanced, very equanimous mind, patient mind. Everyone, please start your meditation. If you are an old student, please keep practicing the second step of, please start practicing the second step of Vipassana meditation. If you are a newcomer, please keep practicing either the first step of breathing meditation or the second step of breathing meditation. Whatever the meditation technique that you practice, regardless of the technique, I sincerely wish may your meditation be very, very successful. Very, very successful. Everyone, please start your silent meditation right now. Right now. Mhm. Now, if your legs are hurting, you can change your posture. We are going to practice loving kindness meditation in brief. First, please start by spreading loving kindness towards yourself. Please think, may I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be very peaceful. Please spread your sincere loving kindness towards yourself first. Now, please spread your loving kindness towards your dear parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. Please think, may my dear mother, may my dear father, may my dear teachers, relatives, and friends be well, be happy, be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Now, please spread your loving kindness towards all the neutral people. Neutral people are the people who don't fall into the category of your friends, at the same time who don't fall into the category of your enemies. These are the people who are in the middle. Please think, may all the neutral people be well. May all the neutral people be happy. May all the neutral people be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your sincere loving kindness towards all the neutral people. Neutral people. Now, please pay your attention towards your enemies. First of all, please let go of your grudges, your anger, your hatred that you have in your mind towards your enemies. At the same time, honestly, please ask forgiveness mentally for the mistakes that you did in the past to start to be. May my enemies be happy. May my enemies be peaceful. May my enemies be very peaceful. Very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards your enemies. Towards your enemies. Now, please spread your loving kindness towards all the beings in this universe. Let them, let those beings be known to you or unknown to you. Let those beings be human beings or animals, insects, birds, reptiles. Uh, let them be any being. Please spread your loving kindness towards them without any discrimination. Any discrimination. Please think. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards all the beings in the world. All the beings in the world. Mavettu sampe mangalang rakanto sampe devata samme buddhanupavine samme dhammanupavine samme sanghanupavine sada sutti bhavantuti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now everyone, please calmly open your eyes. Let your whole body to relax from top to bottom and bottom to top. Now please join your palms together and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, hope the students would feel the sensations well. Right? So, as I always mention, whenever you encounter blind area, so wait there. So wait there for about another 10 to 20 seconds. If you don't feel any sensation at that particular place, then what you need to do is you have to move on to the next place. So don't feel frustrated or agitated about yourself. You just keep on moving, right? So gradually later on, when you are when your attention develops, when your patience develops, when your calmness go deeper, you'll be able to encounter sensations in those particular areas. Just think, so this blind experience, right? So this experience of blind area is also impermanent and it is going to change too, right? And then at the same time, so on your day-to-day life, if you experience, so when you are living your day-to-day life, if you encounter such kind of sensations, right, at that time too, so you can focus on that whenever you have time and think this sensation is also changing, impermanent. And whenever it's gone, you realize that it's gone. So remember yourself. See what has happened. This that sensation, which I thought as a big one, so it has already gone. It has also gone. So all the sensations are impermanent, changing. Right. So then please practice like that. And this is a practice that you do for yourself, right? Not for anybody else. So please practice very ardently, very ardently. So today we are going to learn about the second, after the break, we are going to learn about the second noble truth, right? We learned about the first noble truth in the last week. Today we are going to learn about the second one. So prepare yourself. And now it is the break time. So if you want, so you have 2-3 minutes. So either if you want to drink water or if you want to go to the bathroom, you can take the break. And after that, please come back as soon as possible. Okay, everyone, please say 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, at the end of every meditation session, we share certain parts of Dharma, which is very important for you to understand as meditators. So nowadays we are learning. So when it comes to Vipassana practice, we need to learn certain things, certain teachings of the Dharma to have a good Vipassana meditation experience, right? So first we learned about the 3 characteristics of life. Hope all of you remember the 3 characteristics of life. First one, Shivanna? Yeah, anicca, impermanence. Second one, Remy, suffering or dissatisfaction. And third one, Samuel, no self. Very nice. And then we started learning about the 4 noble truths. That's also another important teaching, so that we need to know about when it comes to the practice. So we learned the first one during the last week. First noble truth. What is the first noble truth? The noble truth of suffering or dissatisfaction. Then we learned, so during the last week, we learned basically what the suffering or how the dissatisfaction or suffering happens in life, right? Um, so we cannot describe it like in details, but in brief, if to a sufficient level, we learned about that, right? So we learned so where the suffering begins, right? So along with the life, it begins, right? Then after that, so we learned so how sickness is suffering, right? So then how the decaying is suffering, and then how the death becomes suffering, and then after that, when we depart from the loved ones, and when we have to associate the people that or things that we don't like, right? And when our expectations are not met, right? How we so experience the noble truth of suffering, right? Also, we learned uh, the suffering, how we have differentiate suffering from the noble truth of suffering, right? And then finally, we learned how the five aggregates so becomes the noble truth, a noble truth of suffering, right? So then we learned all those things, and today we are going to learn about the second noble truth. Second noble truth is uh, so the noble truth about the cause of suffering. The noble truth about the cause of suffering. So, so um, can you see that there is a nature in us? So we, whatever we gain, we are not satisfied, right? Right. So whatever we gain inside us, there is a there is a nature inside us. We are not satisfied with whatever things that we gain, right? So that happiness doesn't last longer, right? Why is that? Craving. Craving is the cause for it. So, so uh, we have to understand, we have to differentiate desire and suffering too. Right? So we want to achieve something. So that's desire, right? So desire is not sometimes. So um, I saw a lecture last week, which was given by one famous professor on on for a gathering in one famous university, and he used the word desire to describe craving. That's wrong, because desire is so it is a mental thought, right? So mental thought which can either become good or bad. It depends on the thing that we do, that we get motivated to do, right? Somehow desire is not craving, right? So craving is different. So desire is different. Once one 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 Brahmin went to the Buddha and asked, so um, so is desire similar to suffering, right? Then Buddha said, no. So let's say first you wanted to come to the temple. You had a desire to come to the temple, right? Then for that, first you decided to go to your cart, bullock cart. Then whenever you went to the bullock cart, your desire in to go to the bullock cart it ended whenever you went there, right? And then after that, you decided to come to the temple. Whenever you came to the temple, your desire ended, right? To come to the temple, it ended there, right? Then after that, you wanted to come and see the Buddha, right? And at that, whenever, so you finished that task, your desire ended there. But craving is not something like that. It is a nature. So it is a nature which is inside us. So which is full of dissatisfaction. You are not satisfied with whatever you get, right? So that is the main nature of craving. Right? Yeah. Even those 7 uh, showers of so diamonds and gems and golden coins and I mean, let's for this century, let's say dollars. So, so shower. So in your yard. So it doesn't matter. You are not satisfied. This nature is craving. Right? This nature is called as craving. In Pali, it is called as tanha. Tanha, craving. Then, so in life, we always, so we, even though we have abundance of things, we are not happy. We always seek, we have this nature of seeking for the one which is missing, right? Which is missing. Let me teach you one story. I have taught you this earlier too. Hope you remember. The story of 99 golden coins. Can you remember? All right. Okay, let me tell it in brief. Uh, in one kingdom, there was one king. He was considered as the happiest person on the land. And one day, he wanted to check whether there is happier person than him in the world. Finally, all his ministers and everyone else, they tried to find someone, and finally they found one farmer uh, as the happiest person, happier person than the king. The king felt jealous. So what he did was, uh, so he snatched all his land to the government, but still he was still happy, right? His happiness still lasted. And he did this harassment and that harassment, but the farmer could maintain his happiness. Then finally, the king gave the land back again to the farmer and stopped the other harassings. But now the king was unhappy. King became unhappy because he wanted to become the happiest person on the land. Finally, so the prime minister noticed this. Noticing this, the prime minister was wise. He noticed this and asked the king why he is not happier like before. Happy like before. Then the king said, "Oh, there is one person who is happier than me on this land." Then the prime minister said, "Okay, uh, who is that?" "That's a farmer. I did everything that I can to make him unhappy, but he's always happy." Then the prime minister said, "Okay, I will make him unhappy, but then I need 99 gold coins." Then new, beautiful 99 gold coins, which are glittering. Then the king asked, "Why 99? You can take 100. Then he said, "No, no, I just need 99 gold coins." Then he took 99 gold coins, and at night, while the farmer is asleep, so he asked his servants to plant a place all those 99 gold coins around the yard, around the land of that farm. In the morning, the farmer woke up and saw one beautiful, glittering new gold coin on his yard. Then, when he went to pick that up, he saw another one. And then, gradually, he started picking gold coins all around his land. With each and when he was picking each and every gold coin, something grew inside him. What is that? Craving for another gold coin. Finally, he found 99 gold coins, but he couldn't find the 100th one. Even though he had 99 gold coins, he was not happy. He wanted the 100th one, right? So throughout day and night, he spent days and months to find the 100th one. Gradually, because of that craving for the 100 gold coin, his happiness started going down, and then the king became the happier person than him. And finally, he became sick, and he became sick and passed away. According to the story, so he passed away. Uh, so because of that, since his craving deteriorated, right? And then that is the nature of our craving, right? We always have so many reasons for you to become happy, but you can see there are so many people who are not happy with what they do have, right? Sometimes there are people who have all kinds of things that so many people dream of, but they are not happy. They need something else, right? They crave for something else. So instead of desire, wholesome desire, so they let the craving to take on that person, and then what happens is they continue to suffer, right? So when all these natural phenomena arise, right? When the life arises, when sickness happens, when decaying happens, when death happens, when you have to associate people that you don't like, when you don't, when you depart from the loved ones, so when all these things happen, why do we suffer? Because of this constant craving. We want everything to go as we decide, not in a different way. But it is not the way how the world runs, right? Therefore, because of that craving, all the beings are suffering. And there is no moment that we don't suffer because of that craving. Even right now, so since you are Vipassana meditators, you are reducing it little bit through your practice. But so when you realize the nature of things, your craving reduces, right? If you lost something in the past, if you cried too much, so you can see that level of suffering is not there anymore, right? That's because your understanding has grown. So therefore, you have your suffering, which happened in the past because of craving, it has gone down to a particular level, but it's not completely gone. So until you practice, until you develop your understanding, the level of your craving will go down. But whenever you don't pay wise attention, and whenever you are not practicing, whenever you abandon the practice, what will happen is once again it will grow, right? Poisonous trees. If you don't cut down the poisonous tree from the bottom, if you don't uproot the poisonous tree, it has still the potential to grow again and grow big. Craving is the same. If you don't have the wholesome mindfulness, right? If you don't develop your understanding, if you don't let your delusion to take over you, ignorance take over you, you gain the ability to contain, right? Keep your craving at bay as much as possible. But whenever your wholesome attention, wholesome mindfulness goes away, right? And when you are not practicing and developing more and more insight, more and more wisdom, the very same old negativities grow and they'll take over you, just like the just like the poisonous tree which was not uprooted grows once again. Right? Therefore, Buddha said, "Yatapi mule anupaddave dalhi chinnopi rukkho punareva ruhati." Ruhati, sorry. Evampi tanhanu saye anuhati nibbattati dukkhamidang punapuna. That means yatha mule anupaddave dalhi. If the main roots were not uprooted, the half-cut tree grows back again. Just like that, when the craving is not cut from the bottom, not uprooted, so that will grow again along with a lot of multiplying more and more suffering. Got it? Yeah. So then so that's suffering. That's craving. And so craving so creates a circle in life, right? There it is called as three parts of the circle, right? So tributta, Buddha means circle, the three kinds of circles, three parts of the circle. So whenever you have craving, so for sure because of ignorance, since you don't understand about the things as they actually are, so then since you see everything, since you don't see the real truth of things as they actually are, so then you take them as one unit and then you develop craving towards them, right? So we know that. And then because of that craving, so it leads to negativities, right? It leads to negativities. That is the first circle, right? First part of the circle, right? So whenever you have craving within, right? So you know whenever things happen as you like, so you react with craving. And whenever things don't happen as you like, you react with aversion, right? So this is like that. So throughout the life, the first circle continues, the circle of defilements, right? So craving gives birth to greed, right? Greed for wealth. So there are so many greeds, right? Greed for wealth, greed for fame, greed for praise, greed for, so like that there are so many greeds. And then it gives birth to various kinds of, various phases of aversion, right? Anger, hatred, jealousy, ill will, so vanity, discriminating feelings, irritation, and all those. Right? So then, so that is called as kilesa buddha, or the circle of defilements or negativities, right? Circle of negativities. When the circle of negativities work, then the second circle also becomes active. What is the second circle? karma circle, the circle of karma. By doing so, they create, by reacting so we create karma, good karmas and bad karmas and neutral karmas too. Right? So good karmas and bad karmas. Whenever the circle of karmas become active, another circle becomes active too. What is that? The circle of consequences. If you did good karmas or bad karmas, then they are bound to result. You know, in this life, or in the next life, or any other life to come. Right? So then these three circles turn on when the craving is on. Right? And then Buddha said, there are three cravings in the world. There are three cravings in the world. First craving is kama tanha. Kama tanha means craving for the objects of sensual pleasure. Right? So we love to see beautiful scenes, and we are ready to go. Said if we hear that there is a good Dhamma teaching, hundreds miles away, very few people will go. But if we hear that there is a beautiful picture, beautiful show or picture or something like that, going on somewhere 100 miles away, you are ready to go. Right? There are so many people, thousands of people show up because of that nature. Kama tanha, we have a strong craving to see beautiful things, right? Pleasant things, and we don't like to see unpleasant things, right? Then then second one is beautiful sounds, right? So 100 miles away, you hear, you get a news that on that particular day, at this particular time, the favorite singer. So there are so many favorite singers, right? I'm not going to take names, right? So there are so many favorite singers, right? Your favorite singer, right? You hear that he or she is coming. He will be coming. So you book a ticket and you are ready to spend, and you go to attend that show, right? Because we have that craving for sound, right? And for that we are ready to do anything, right? So then for the smells, right? Sometimes you go to this Mansfield Mall, right? And then you spend, in perfume stores, you spend hours and hours, right? So I'm not going, right. So we spend hours and hours, right? So some of you say, oh, Polo Club is the best. And then some of the others, there are so many brands, right? I don't know about those brands, but as lay people, you know most of those names. So Gucci, is that one brand? Okay, I have heard it from the, TV. It's a Gucci, and there are so many such kind of brands. You try everything because you love the smell, right? So craving for the smell, right? So how about the taste, right? Sometimes we go to visit restaurants which are very far away, right? I know there's one restaurant in Sunnyvale, one Vietnamese restaurant in around Sunnyvale. Certain people come all the way from San Jose, right? No, I'm not going to take names. Then so many people go to visit that place because people say that their food is so good, right? And then so why is that? Don't they have other restaurants in San Jose? There are, but you like the taste, right? And then after that, so for the body, right? We like to feel nice touches, and we don't like uh, touches that which are not comfortable, right? Because of then that's because of craving, right? Certain people do even I mean very gruesome action. They engage in very gruesome actions sometimes because of because of their craving for the touch, right? But why that happens? Because they don't see the impermanence of all those experiences, right? So they take all those experiences of five sensual objects of sensual pleasure as a permanent thing, but they are not permanent. They're always impermanent. So now, as Vipassana meditators, even when you feel similar sensations, so while you are feeling them, they are constantly in the process of changing, right? They have a starting point, peak, and finally they disappear, right? That's the truth. Even the best sensation that you experience, best sensual pleasure experience, it won't last forever. It passes away. While it is existing, so it is passing, and it will completely extend at one point of life, right? So, so then we have to understand the first craving is the craving for the objects of sensual pleasure, right? And second one is bhavatanha. Bhavatanha means the craving for existence, right? So craving for existence means, so all of us like to live, right? We like to be born in comfortable realms. Certain people only do good actions to be born in heaven. Why? They think that there is a particular special, comfortable, kind of comfortable sensation in heaven. But wherever you go, comfortable sensations, they only have comfortable or uncomfortable sensations. They only have one characteristic. All of you know that. They are impermanent change, right? Sometimes we might have been in those places for a very long period of time, right? But now we are here suffering the sufferings in the human realm, right? So that's how the lives are. Then craving for existence. That's one. And second craving is craving for non-existence. So that's also a kind of craving. It happens not to the certain general people, but mainly for certain ascetics. Right? They think so life is not worthy, right? So we had destroyed the life. So no, right? So then they so then so whenever you have the craving for non-existence, so that's also another craving, right? Because it is a separate case when you understand the things as they actually are. When your craving goes, at the last moment, you won't cling to another thing, right? Because anymore, so you don't have any craving to see something special. You don't have any craving to hear any special kind of sound. You don't have any craving to feel another special kind of smell, right? Or taste, or experience any special kind of touch, right? So therefore, at the last moment, when someone attains the enlightenment, that person passes away just like uh, just like a lamp. Lamps, flame goes away, right? So, but that's separate. But if we have the craving for non-existence, that's also another craving, right? So therefore, then all these three cravings. So these are the three kinds of cravings in the world, right? So then, how to come out of this craving? How to come out of craving? Then first one is, so whenever we experience things, we have to understand they have an asad. Asad means they have a pleasure and displeasure. We have to accept that truth, right? So in this world, there are things that we experience pleasure and displeasure too, right? But then second thing is, so you through your own experiential wisdom, through vipassana meditation, we have to understand that even though there is a pleasure in things or displeasure in things, so they are bound to pass away, right? They have this nature, noble truth of suffering, and they have no any self, right, inside that you can call it as US. Any of those experiences as US, right? So they are in a constant process of rising and passing, so without your control, right? And then that's number two. So seeing that, so you have to let it go, let it flow, it according to the nature of things, right? So when, as I always say, when the river flows, you have to let the river flow. If you try to control the river, it is not going to happen. So if I don't like this flower to wither away, it's not going to happen. We have to let that natural process to go. Whatever I can do to let it last, I do it. Right? I water it, and if I can put fertilizer, I put fertilizer on it, then I do all those things. But I have to stay knowing this will wither away one day. Right? So then, by mind, you have to let that natural process to continue as it is. Right? You cannot stop that. It is called as nissarana, letting go. You accept the reality. Yes, in things there is a pleasure and there is displeasure. Then you have to understand. Second one is, so then you have to understand that. So, but even though they have pleasure and displeasure, they can give us pleasure and displeasure. But all those experiences are impermanent, and and then existing on the top of dissatisfaction, and then they cannot be called as US, right? And then finally, so you have to go to the third step, which is you have to let it go along with the nature, right? Asada, adinam, nisar, right? These are three steps of the Buddha. And this process is called as Ariya Pariyesana, noble research. So this process of coming out of all the craving, right, and letting go of all the suffering, right? That process is called as the noble research, according to Buddha. Until craving exists inside you, you are just like beings inside a bondage, right? Whenever, so you let go of your craving, right? So that's when you will experience the real freedom, real happiness. So keep on practicing ardently. Now we are going to conclude. Everyone, please think. Together, all of us gathered here and practice this noble non-sectarian pure meditation technique and accumulated a lot of positive energy. By the power of all this positive energy, Please think. May all our troubles be away. May all the good things happen in our lives. Practicing this noble non-sectarian Dhamma path, may all of us attain real peace, real happiness, purification of mind, Nibbana. Everyone, please join your palms together and concentrate. Abhivadana silisse nichang vada pachaino chattaro dhamma vannanti ayuvangno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sambatti me vache ato nimmana sambatti iminate samijjito. Please say it 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good night to everyone. Take care of yourself. Take rest. And see you again on next week, next Friday. Sukhi hotu. May be well. May be happy. May be very peaceful. Sukhi hotu. Right.
I have to unmute everyone. Bante, give me 1 second.
Yes. Okay.
Let
Good
me
night,
unmute
Ms.
our
Rita.
friends.
Good night, Mr.
Good
Fuad.
night.
Good night. Thank you for sharing the Dhamma with us tonight.
May all the good happen to you.
Everyone is unmuted. Thank you,
Sukhi
Bante.
hotu. Good night, Buddhiniaki.
Good night, Teruvan Saranai Swami.
Teruvan Saranai. Ms. Shainaz and Mr. Adil, good night.
Good night, Bante.
May all the good happen to you. Then Thant, good night. Thant, Trilin. All right. Can you hear me? Good night.